Okay, welcome to another fun episode of Photoshop Party. Today we're going to talk about making greeting cards. Basically, it's just using layers and working that way. It's nothing spectacular or no big tricks or anything, but we'll see what happens. So let's go ahead and get started. And we'll go here. Oh, would you look at that? First thing up, we have West Coast School. I don't know how many people are planning on attending West Coast School, but there's 7 instructors up there. Suzette Allen, she's going to be doing some video stuff. Guy named Mike Collins talking about Photoshop. Scott Detweiler, AI and portrait photography. Michael E. Gordon talking about nature and landscape. Joe Glida, commercial. Sandra Pierce doing her painting stuff in Photoshop. And
Oh, I may have to do that. I don't know. Maybe
she's
I'll pick you
she's
later.
going to have some magic tricks up her sleeve. She's been off for a year, so she's been working on that. And last but not least, we have Pete Rizak, all light, done right. So that is West Coast School in a nutshell. And it's going to be June 18th, or I'm sorry, June 8th through the 13th, 2025, Hyatt Regency in Valencia, no longer in San Diego. Would love to see everybody there because it's total blast. It's summer camp for photographers, and it just keeps getting better and better. So let's close that puppy out. Say goodbye.
What kind of commercial photography is Joe going to do?
Kevin, you want to talk about that? He's not there. Okay.
Product photography mainly. He'll be shooting a bunch of products, a bunch of stuff like that.
Okay.
And he used to work for Kraft long
Yeah, he
time.
does a lot of food photography as well.
And he is one amazing commercial photographer.
Yes, that he is.
If
Sorry,
you-
Michael, I was out trying to get laundry done at the same time.
That's okay. I'm used to being
So
left behind.
Joe is amazing. A lot of tabletop stuff. We did some alcohol bottles. We did several different food shoots. You make a trip to the store and do some shopping, looking at packaging and things like that. It's a blast. Really great stuff. Really great information.
Joe's amazing. He's the nicest guy in the world. And during the night,
that too.
he'll also hang out with you, talk, and answer all the questions you got. So I highly recommend him as a second choice. First choice, obviously, would be the Photoshop class.
And the art class.
That too. I've taken Sandra's class a couple of times and really enjoyed her class, so well worth it. Okay, back to the zoo. And let's go to making a Christmas card. I have a template. In fact, let me get rid of this guy here. Say goodbye. I have a template here that I got from somebody where it's got swirls and Merry Christmas and all kinds of stuff. You can change whatever you want on there to make it happen. So like on the top row, if you don't want to say Merry Christmas, escape. Okay, Merry Christmas. And it keeps going out of that. I don't know why it's doing that.
Huh.
Because that is, oh, that's not a
Text layer.
that's
It's
not
not a text layer.
That's why.
It got flattened out. That's okay. We can change the year. I know that because it says T for text, so we can change the year, I believe. Let's see what happens. 2024. We'll get rid of that little parenthesis thing. Get rid of that little parenthesis thing. And I'm going to make it a little bit bigger and bolder. So right now I have it highlighted. It's Myriad Pro, and we'll go to bold. And just to cheat a little bit, we'll go to There we go. And we'll turn on a fake bold to make it even bigger. So you can turn on a fake bold up here in the characters. Hit the T right there. Problem is, you got to remember every time you type from now on, it's going to show that bold. So you got to be careful of that, just for your information.
Hmm.
If I turn off the layers, we'll start building from the bottom. And to turn off all the layers at one time, I go to the background layer, hold the Option or Alt key, click on the eye, and it turns them all off.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Little tricks here and there.
Hmm.
What we'll do is from there, I'm going to turn on the second layer because that's the colors that we're using. And just start adding things in there, put a little bit of a layer going around to add a little extra pizzazz. Then it's got a texture layer underneath or on top of that, and then another little pizzazz layer going around, making a, I can't think of the name now. Anyway,
Making a border and an edge.
thank you, a bordermer. God, brains. Brain is gone right.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. And you can turn these on and off to get different textures. So if I turn off that green layer that's got an ugly texture to it, I just keep this brown layer on top and you can see, I'm going to zoom in for you, hopefully you can see it. It's got a bit of a texture there because of the overlay and the layer mask. So I've turned that out. That's the layer mask it's masked. Turn it off and it just leaves that little texture in there above there. More texture, more border. It's got swirls underneath, so you could take your brush, get the swirls and just stamp all over the place and turn them on and off. And then you have a frame that's in there so we can add something in, more texture. We can drop our image in here, or what we can do is drop it in later, which I'll do. You got the date 2024 and Merry Christmas across the top. I can make a Merry Christmas and do a text layer to get rid of that, but I'm going to be lazy right now because it's a template and that's why I'm doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my favorite hound dog in here where it says image here. I'm going to go to bridge and there's my hound dog. I'm going to right click and go to place in Photoshop. That way I don't have to take it from one image to the other. And I'm going to move it a little bit right now just to get it in locked in there. And it automatically went into transformation mode, which you can turn that off in preferences if you like. And then what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to add a clipping mask. So I'm going to Alt click between the two layers and it totally disappeared. So let's do this.
You don't have it activated. Okay. There
What
you
was
go.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I should be able to. My keyboard shortcut is not moving for some reason.
Did you get it updated? I had my actions all go.
Holy,
But that last update I got, it took everything I hadn't.
there we go. Now we got it. I'm just going to drop it in right here. Command T to free transform, just kind of rotate to kind of match. Okay, why? Oh, because that's turned off. Let's try that again. Option click. There we go. Wow. That was hard to get in there. The reason why it wasn't going in is because I had that layer turned off. Turn it back on. Now he fits in there. If you want to have just the eyes, do a Command or Control T. Hold the Option key so it expands outward all the way around. Now you got pretty much just the eyes. So that when you're sending out your Christmas card, here you go, puppy dog. And if you want to change colors, it's really easy to do. Like turning this layer on and off. So what we could do is layer 1, which is the green color or color cast to it. What I'll do is come over here and we'll go into like kind of a tan color. And then I'm on layer 1. So I'm going to hit Option Delete or Option Backspace. And that changes the color. And then you'd have to do the same thing with your border. Wow, that word just escapes me. I'll click on border and do the same thing, add a little nothing there. And you see that I turned it to brown, but there's another border showing up down below. So that shows up when I don't want it to. If you don't like the texture that's in there, you can take the texture out, clicking it on and off. Once you make your card, you've got it made. You can do anything you want to it and change it at will. Here we took out the swirls. You can keep the swirls in or leave the swirls out, whatever makes you happy. You can
Where
take
did you get the swirls?
the swirls we painted in.
Oh,
So let's turn everything off with that. Those are the swirls that are underneath.
wow.
And so what I'll do, Command New, and let's do 10 by 8. B for brush. And I don't think I have any swirls loaded. Well, there's a swirl brush. Let's see what it says. That's not the swirl I'm looking for.
Mm-mm.
So what I will do is go to my brushes, go to the settings wheel up here, the drop down, import brushes. And what I'm going to do is go to where I've got it stored right now. So today's August, and I have simple scrolls right here, ABR. When you have a .abr, that's your brush folder. And you want to make sure that you back up your brushes. So when things happen, which have happened to me in the past where it crashes, your brushes disappear, have them so you can find them again. And so what I did was double click on it to bring them in. Let me get rid of all this other stuff that's hiding here. Too many brushes, too many brushes. Should be the last one that I did. I've got to go and clean these brushes up because it keeps adding more and more in there. Simple scrolls down at the very bottom. And what I can do is pick the scrolls that I want. Let's say sample brush.
Oh,
And let's go with like a 50% opacity and do a 20% opacity. And you can see that, in fact, let's do 20% on both of those. So we'll hit up here, 20%. And then I want to change it so it rotates kind of opposite of what it is right now. So if you go to your brush settings, there's this little circle with an arrow on it right here on the right-hand side. So what I can do is just rotate it to 90 degrees or thereabouts. Then I can rotate it again. So you can start adding in different brushes in there. You can also tell it to change things up. So you do shape dynamics, angle jitter, say 51%. So every time I hit it, it rotates 51%.
Wow. Cool.
So now you've got your scrolls going on. And then you just start building on top of that. So if you go online and you see some scrolls and different things that you like, you can access them and say, okay, let's do this one right here. And you'd have to change this brush to rotate each time as well. Or if you hold the right arrow key, it rotates a little at a time. If you hold the shift and the arrow key, it rotates much faster. So you can make all kinds of scrolls and stuff on there if you like, and everything goes just hunky-dory.
Amazing.
So we'll go back to this one. Those are the swirls, and you can see there's some different opacities that were done here. You've got light opacity, dark opacity, and as you do this, you can see there's different layers on there, so you can turn off what you don't want. But like, let's say we're on layer 30, let's add a new layer down here. So layer 17. So let me turn these guys off. And each time I click, right now it's at 20%. Every time I click, you can see that it darkened the area where I clicked it again. So if you go over it, you can see this one right here is really dark right there because that's been hit over several times. If I just hold the brush down and builds up to 100%, so you have that brush going on too. So got that one. Let me close that guy out, close that one out. And let's go to, well, let's go, you want to do a card through a lab. This just happens to be Miller's sample. This is their template. So what they say is you have to stay within the lines to make sure you're safe. Anything important has to be within the lines. Their actual image, which is 4x8, is actually 4x8 and an eighth, I believe. So it goes out further. So they have extras so they can cut just in case. And it tells you down here, check your placement using the guide layer. You could turn the guide layer on and off. Delete layers titled delete guide. Well, you can see this one's called delete guide. When you're done, you turn that off or delete it so that all you have in the middle is your image. And this one is a great card for doing a folded card. So I'm going to go to View, Guides, New Guide. I'm going to hit 50%. And it's vertical. And that put it right smack dab in the middle. You don't have to do the math. Photoshop will do it for you. So as you're working with this, this is the front, this would be the back. You do another one for the inside. So you have front, inside, left, inside, right, and then back. So let's go ahead and we're going to add a new layer because I don't want to work on the delete guide layer. And I'm going to go to Bridge, which I always do, my favorite place. And let's go ahead and double click this, do it the old fashioned way. Okay, now I got to drag it in. Hit V for move, drag it up to the tab, then drag it down to where I want to put it. And that's like huge. So we'll go Command T. When I do Command T, I can't find my transformation handles at the top and on the bottom. So if I hit Command 0, now you have your transformation handles. And you can see that it transforms right into the middle when I'm holding the Option key into this little dot right here. If I move the dot, it will transform into that dot wherever you put it. So we'll just go ahead and put it there. Lock it in. And now we need to put something on there. How about some text? T for text. And let's do the engraved just for fun. And you'll notice that I still keep my lorem ipsum lit up on here. The reason I do that is I want to see the size, I want to see the color, I want to see the font. A lot of people turn that off. For me, I love it because it tells me what I'm doing. And I want to make it white. So down here where they have the hexadecimal number, where my cursor is on the right-hand side of the color picker, I hit F, F, F. Actually, it's 6 Fs, but I can get away with 3 and shortcut it. Click OK and say happy holiday. Just one holiday. I'm not going to give you all of them. And that looks semi-okay. So I'll hit the check box at the top and say okay. But I don't think it's big enough. So text layer is still selected. My type tool still selected. So if I go up to the text size up here and type in 30, it makes it bigger. And that looks just about decent. Let's put a little red stroke on it. So double click on the layer, go to stroke, and we'll go to bright red, click OK. And it looks like the 6 pixel size takes over the whole thing. Well, shoot, that's not good. Let's try 1 pixel. Okay, let's try 2 pixels. And you just get it to where you like it. Figure out what you want. You can do bevel and emboss on it and make it a little bit funky. Looks like a candy cane almost. Click OK. So now we have the front done and the back. What are we going to do for the back? Well, let's go ahead and do a marquee. So we'll go make it a little smaller so I can see where I'm going. M for marquee. And it has generative fill. Ooh, generative fill. What could we do with that? Give me some suggestions for some type of Christmas or Hanukkah theme that we can type in and make it AI generated.
You wanna, you could do a menorah, but why would you do that on the back of the card?
I'm just filling in the blanks.
Oh, wouldn't
That's-
you put your information on the back of the card if you were selling it?
You could, but
Or you want,
I'm gonna do a picture and then we can put the info on the back of the card.
I would do candelabra or something where the candles will flicker if you can get AI to do that
Candles,
with lit candles,
what candle?
lit,
Lit
something
candle?
flame.
Okay. Lit candle.
This card is what, ending up to be a 4x4?
It's gonna be 4x4. So I'm just
Okay.
basically MSUing right now. I'm making stuff up,
Oh, okay.
kind of filling it in just for fun. Lit
I
candle,
like this one. I like this happy holiday card. I like that ornament.
desktop. Um, holiday scene. I got no idea what it's gonna come up with. I'm just making stuff up as I go. And the first one is really bad. Second one is nothing.
Oh, cute.
Well, that is totally bizarre. It copied what I
Took
had.
your picture and added a candle to it.
Huh.
Why don't you, why don't you try to use a Thomas Kincaid, Christmas scene?
It won't take Thomas Kincaid because it's copyrighted.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll show you right now. Let's do Thomas Kincaid Christmas scene. And you'll see that it won't allow any copyrighted. It'll go through the whole process, make you wait, and say, oh, by the way, oh, it did come up with something. But it's not Thomas Kincaid, it's just a Christmas scene.
yeah. Huh.
I like the Santa Claus.
This one or this one?
Oh, the other one. That one.
Okay, we can do that. So we'll accept that one. And then we'll go add a new text layer. You know what? I'm going to do a new layer. M for marquee. And draw a little box right here. And let's go to white, FFF. Click OK. We're going to fill it with white. So we'll do Option backspace or Alt delete. And we have a white box. Well, that looks kind of funky, right? So if we did opacity, say 50%, that might work. Deselect it and then add a text to it. And we'll go to, does anybody have a favorite font? Let's try that, I guess.
Iguadari script? How do you pronounce that?
What script?
I'm trying to pronounce it right. It's called Iguadari or Iguadara script.
With a G?
No, with a C. I mean E.
Spell that one for me.
Well, good luck. I can't even pronounce it.
Okay.
It's really it's an elegant look, but it's just
Well, let's go with charm, see how that looks. And I'm going to change the font color to red.
hmm.
Collins Photography, www.collinsfoto.com. And you go, well, I don't know if I like that color. That's okay. We'll click on the color at the top, drop in a nice green. And I think maybe I do need that box to be a little bit brighter. So I'll take the opacity of the layer up to say 60% so it shows the font better. And then we'll put a stroke around this box right here. The fastest way to do that is Command or Control click on the layer box or the box layer on the icon, and it makes a selection. You go up to Edit, Stroke, and sure, red seems to be the color of the day. Click OK. It says 10 pixels. We'll see what it does. Deselect. Doesn't work great, but it's okay, I guess, for what we're doing. Just gives you an idea. Or you can match the color of the font there. Change the stroke undo. Let's see what happens if I do a stroke here. Command D to deselect. Double click out there and click on stroke. It will go to green. Click OK. So there you have it. Oh, we don't have a phone number to contact us at. So let's go up to the text font, T for text. And we'll hit 805-555-1212. And now we have our phone number in there. So you can go back and edit anything you want to do. You don't like the color of that? Okay, let's go to black. And it stands out a whole lot better. But you get the idea. You just start playing with it. Once you have it set up, you can save it as a PSD file. And that way you have your template set up. So you just drop in what you want to drop in. If you have a family photo you want to drop in where the ornament is, you can do that. If you want to get rid of that layer, turn off delete guide so you can see what you're doing. You can do that as well. And then on the inside, what we'll do is, this is probably the fastest way, is just do a duplicate of the image. So you go to edit, you go to image down to duplicate, and we duplicate this copy. And now we have the inside. So the right-hand page is where it says Happy Holidays, or holiday. And so you can just turn off what you don't want and say T for text. Enjoy your day, you filthy animals.
Mhm.
And we'll just make another text box down here. Love all of us. And then the left side, you can either leave blank, so we can turn off the left side. Leave blank, or you can put something else in there, whatever makes you happy. So just that easy. So when you have a template, here's a template. We can fill in the blanks. Instead of thank you for your continued support, we can go T for text, click on this. I don't have that font, so it's saying, do you want to replace it? Yeah. What's it give me? It gives me garbage, Myriad Pro. I don't want Myriad Pro. I want something fancy. So there's only how many thousands of fonts there?
If you use Miller's, do they have fonts and you have to use their fonts?
No, you just send them a JPEG when you're done,
Oh,
and they do it all. If I want to go, I can go to more fonts, click on more fonts and pick out the ones I want. And when you click on it, it will add it into your selections that you have. So if you see fonts that you like, just click on more fonts up here. All languages. I don't want all languages. I want
Polish.
English, calligraphic, or calligraphic or calligraphy, whatever. Brush pen, no. Cursive, nothing found. Futuristic. And I think I've shown you guys this before. If you go to your DAFONT.com, There are fonts, and more fonts. You have fancy, fancy curly. You can pick a font that you like up there. Beautiful Friends. Hey, I like that one.
Are
Download.
those all free downloads?
These are all free. You can donate to the author right here if you want.
Hmm.
So I double click on that and install. And that was called Beautiful Friends. So close that, go up here, type in beautiful. My fonts. Hey, you're supposed to, all classes. Of course, the computer always knows when you're not doing things. Beautiful Friends regular. That's the one. Click on that. And we changed it to Beautiful Friends. I think I need to make it just a touch bigger. Hit V to move it. And we're gonna change the wording from thank you to happy new year. And go to the next layer, which is for your continued support. Turn that off. I don't like that. And down here at the bottom, it says names. Replace, it's going to go to Myriad Pro. It just loves that one. I don't want to go more fonts. I want my own fonts. Taken by Vulture's demo. Type in Mikey and make it a little bit bigger than 18 point.
Looks like there's no spell checker in there.
There is a spell checker, but it's not automatic. Let me zoom in and see what's in there. Mikie.
I like that.
And that is like super small. I'm on Mikey, take it up to 72 point. There we go. V for move it down below the little squiggly. There we go. And now we can just drop in a picture. I could drop in a picture of Dennis or Dwight, but I'm going to be nice today. Don't ask me why. And we'll go to bridge. Well, let's do it from West Coast School. Right click, place in Photoshop. And you can also do this in Lightroom. And you can see it made it really, really big. So we'll do a Command T, shrink it down. And we need to drop this down below where it says image here and do an option click between the two layers. And it drops it in. If you don't like the placement that you have, you can drop it down just a little bit. By moving it, you won't hurt it. You can resize it while it's that way already. Do all kinds of cool stuff to it. So this is a card made from a template, and you can see it's got textures and all kinds of stuff there. We'll show you how those work. We've got the gray texture down below, the tan up above. And you just turn them off one at a time and see what the textures are doing. So you can see this texture right here, layer 4, gives you this little rough edge at the bottom. So you can turn that on and off if you don't like the roughness, the texture there. And just little by little, you build it up. Once you see what each layer does, it will amaze you. Like this one doesn't do anything, it's completely covered up. Background layer is completely covered. But using the clipping mask, which is holding the Alt or Option key in between the layers, or turn it off, go backwards, same thing. You can go up to the drop down on the layers panel and then create clipping mask. Or you can go up to layer up here, create clipping mask. There's bazillion ways to do it in Photoshop, but that's the fastest way that I use, is using the Option or Alt between the two layers. Using textures in your cards makes them stand out a lot more. Find the font that you like, play with it. So we have Happy New Year. That's okay. So we'll do a key for text. I don't think there's a bold on this one. There is not. So we'll have to do a faux bold. Brushes. There we go. Turn the bold on to make it brighter. Or you can make it go wider. Spread it out or bring it back. You can make the lettering spaced out. You can make the height bigger. You can just play with it and see what all these different things do. And just have a good time with it. So, any
Hey, Mike, yeah, I have a question. Where'd you find your textures at?
where do I find what?
Your texture?
My texture.
Yeah.
I collect textures on my big computer, my desktop. Let me go to Photoshop class and type in TEX, and there's textures. And you find the textures that you like. Whatever you have texture-wise, that's a wallpaper at a hotel. That's the elevator in Texas, the floor in the bathroom in Texas. So you got different textures here. You just shoot different textures all over the place.
Okay.
If you see something you like, or somebody has one that you like, what you do is you ask them nicely for it. And then they can give it to you or sell it to you or tell you where to go, one or the other. So on my desktop, I probably have 100 textures, probably have 200 or 300 clouds. I just collect these all over the place. I really enjoy using them.
You put it in a folder on your desktop?
I do. I have a backup hard drive and I have stock images, and one of the folders in there is called textures. So I keep everything from animals to, I don't even know what, let me see what's in there. Doc, there we go. I have from Army to zoo. So whatever, if I shoot a zoo and I have some good zoo animals, I'll put them in there. If I have food pictures, I put them in food and put them under each category. Beverages from beer to martinis. When you get images that are really, really cool, you take them, you save them into your stock files so you know that you can find them. Make sure you label them correctly so it's easy to find. Other questions? Going once, going twice,
Do you ever print your own cards or do you only have Millers do it?
Most of the time I have Millers do it. I have printed my own on Red River paper. I think you're the one that
use-
recommended that a long time ago when I took
Yeah.
your class. I have, but if I want the color to be perfect, I let Millers do it. And with Millers, you can have all kinds of different paper textures. So you can go there. And they're fairly inexpensive. They're not too expensive there.
Well, I find that if I'm doing a volume for somebody, I don't print them myself either. But if I'm doing a few, like if I'm putting them in a store and I need 40, 50 cards, 3 different, different ones, then I print them myself and I have little bags that I put them in to keep them
Yeah.
fresh.
I've got, I don't know if you can really see this one. This is from Miller's. I sent it to them. My granddaughter does graphic arts, and she drew this little cartoon guy, which won't show
Cute.
up on the screen.
I can see it's a stop there.
Yeah,
Oop.
and then on the back, I have her website for her graphic arts. She does it professionally, so I had Miller's print me up 25 thank you cards using her art. I just thought it was cute and loved it.
I
So
like her art. I think it's cute.
That's a great idea. That's a
She's
great
amazing.
idea. That's a great idea. Oh,
and they're on like a cotton fiber paper. They have glossy, they have all kinds of different papers available for you. Miller's rocks, by the way.
I like just basically, they're a good printer. They
They're a
make
good printer, their
very
customer
pretty
service is amazing.
Mhm.
millerslab.com. So definitely go there. Any other questions? Okay,
I'm speechless.
I am going to